Hi y'all, it's Kate. Kate Rambles On, and this is just a small wee video. I tried to make it a while ago, but it was just too much of me rambling. This is going to be a short about something I did today for myself. Before I went to the grocery store and paid all my bills to the point of me being absolutely broke, which I am now, I allowed myself 20 bucks just for me, for non-essential, for whatever my whim was. And my whim was to stop by this little tiny flea market at the old Guthrie drive-in. The drive-in looks like, you know, you could still put a picture show out there. Listen to me call it a picture show. Like I'm that old, but I am kind of that old, but whatever. But I went there and I spent my whole 20 bucks. Yeah, and that was my thing. I wasn't gonna go anywhere else. I wasn't, you know, didn't have to spend it all there, but that's what I allowed myself for whatever really caught my eye. So these did. Okay, we'll paint. They're not gonna sit right here forever, but these are, they're metal. Really hard metal. It's like you can't bend them. I don't know what. It's not, it could be really hard tin. I don't know. But it was a set for 10, and they're bunnies. And these little cages open up at the top, and you can put tea lights in there. I thought at Easter it might be cute to get the little, like, colored pastel tea lights, but you know, whatever. I'm not really that kind of person, but if I get a cute little patio or table outside that can be under the awning or safe, I would put them outside, you know. They could handle the weather. But they would be cute, but they're 3D, so this is this one. You can have it this way, or you can turn it where he's standing behind the twigs. It looks the same. Pandy, this isn't all about you. Let's see. I'm washing your bowl. I'll get the other one. She had to have her her brunch in a china teacup with a 18 karat gold. There you go. Yeah. Let's scratch that off, woman. She's so spoiled. But my second find was something that I just thought about the other day. Though the camper's very level, sometimes if I'm like just being sloppy and bumping into the door, or I'm in a hurry to go pee, and yeah, I keep my hamper there, it's out of the way, and this strainer that I really never use because it's too big. But whatever, you know, I'll sit down on the toilet and I'll be listening to TV, or you know, and the door comes closed, and I don't want it closed, or just whatever. So I thought, you know, I need to find a doorstop, and one of these days I'm going to go to the antique store and look for one, or find a cool rock. And while I was there, I happened to find, don't look at my drug cabinet. Yeah, it's my addiction. Shh, shh. Yes, I drink it. My Dr. Pepper. Hey, display it proud. Don't turn your back, ladies. Don't be ashamed. Anyway, so it's not made of pewter. I mean, it could be. I need to look around on it for some markings. Could just be solid steel. Feels more like cast iron, kind of the texture, and just the way it's been made and pressed. So I need to look down between his legs and his little places. But he already has little felt pads on him. See? And he's small. I have very small hands. I think my wrist is like 6.5. I wear 7 or something like that. 7 in a bracelet. But so I have really little hands. So he's really small, but he's heavy. And so he's not so big you're going to stub your toe on it. That's important in a small space like a tiny home. So, and number 3. Look at the big terracotta sun, moon, celestial. Ain't it pretty? I like reliefs like that. But it's nice, and it's hanging. It's got a very strong leather strap, and I hung it where the little bee was, because nothing would make a nest of it, not like it wanted to, that close to a feeder, especially in the winter, because it's just too much traffic. But up a little higher, if something gets desperate, it might, but it's just decorative. It's just cute. Struck my fancy one day and made me smile, so I brought it home. You know, sometimes when you have a bad day and you're just like stopping by like the dollar store or wherever to grab, you know, or Aldi or wherever, and you're just to grab something cheap for dinner, and you're just and something out bright color catches your eye, and a bee smile caught my eye. But I digress. There. terracotta. Really, yeah, that is it. It's pretty. So I hung it from the bee spot. I put the bee up a little higher, and oh boy. So I'm going to film a little bit of these butterflies out here, just drunk on nectar. They're just hopping around. There's about 3 or 4. The smaller thing of zinnia are down there outside the window, the pot. But so there's been, my neighbors have brought their daughter down in the afternoon a couple times to watch the butterflies. So yeah, they are just, there's some of it, I can't follow them all, but there's some little black ones, there's some of the big yellow ones, I forget its name. There's some of the little yellow ones, which I looked that up in Oklahoma, and what native butterfly that is and what its name, and its name is Little Yellow. Yeah, very creative. It's called Little Yellow, and then there's a bigger one that I think they call like a more of a chartreuse, you know, kind of a fluorescent color. But oh yeah, they're just fluttering around everywhere. This morning, I hope you saw that video. We had lots of hummingbirds. This might be the last weekend, especially if it gets really drops cool. They're like, oh no, we're going south. Yeah, Cancun, here we come. They're leaving Oklahoma. So yeah, hot of the afternoon. These zinnia are just popping out. They got more coming, and I last time I was out there about a half hour ago, I refreshed the little tin flowers with a little bit of moisture for the other pollinators, for the big wasp and dirt daubers and whatever else wants a little drink. So yeah, went and got them a big bag of feed. These guys are like, we don't need no feed. We got so much out here, and it makes me so happy. I love how tall that's getting. All right, guys, thanks for sharing in my Guthrie Flea Market finds. Lovely. Just cute as a button. And these two. Thanks, y'all. Bye.